Breaking news. Coalition of protest groups across Nigeria has emerged. Listen to the following statement from the coalition of protest groups across Lagos and Nigeria, October 23, 2020. Following the nationwide address from President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday, October 22nd, we are more resolved to press not just for justice, but for a new and better Nigeria, where all citizens are safe and can thrive. Lagos State, where the hotbed of the resistance began, has been under statewide curfew imposed by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Period to that, soldiers attacked peaceful protesters at the Lekki toll gate and unleashed carnage. We have watched with horror the ensuing act of violence, murder, looting, razing and vandalization of homes, businesses and organizations in Lagos State, and we would like to state emphatically that these are not protesters. We completely condemn any form of violence or looting. For the sake of the well-being of our comrades and ordinary citizens being adversely affected by this, we will deprioritize the physical protest for now. But for the sake of those who died before the protest, during the protest, and at the hands of soldiers at the Lekki toll gate, people who the government has largely refused to acknowledge, the struggle must continue. Here are our objectives in the next few days. 1. Clean up. During our protest, we made a conscious effort to clean up the venues and keep our environment safe for everyone. Following the condemnable vandalization that took place since the curfew began, we are volunteering efforts towards the cleanup and rebuilding of our state. 2. Online protests. We will continue to intensify online publicity and protest of the issue and demands made. We will be hosting conversation, sharing articles and amplifying voices of thoughts leaders in that direction. 3. Offline community engagement. We will continue grassroots mobilization and civic education of the masses, providing tools for education to enable them to understand the scale and scope of what is at stake. 4. Timelines. We are putting a timeline together to track actions taken to meet our demands. This way, we know what has been done, what is being done, and what can be ticked off our list. This way, we know if and when the government defaults, and we can decide if a return to the streets is necessary. 5. Strategy. We are building short, medium and long-term strategies to sustain this momentum and keep this fire that has been ignited by actions of young people across Nigeria burning. The strategies are pillared on and geared towards education, voters registration, political consciousness and representation for young people in government. 6. Structure. We will create a structure to strategically consolidate demands, formalize the coalition, galvanize the continued online protest, develop standards for monitoring and evaluation, and continue the mobilization and education of the citizen. 7. Representation. The leaderless nature of this protest, but consistent oneness in demand have been part of our unique strengths. As we move towards consolidation and negotiation, it is now pertinent we put forward a diverse group to represent the different coalitions, from celebrities to activists, legal minds to strategists, journalists to entrepreneurs, etc. We consulted far and wide to come up with these names, and while this may not be exhaustive, it offers us an interim basis to begin the negotiation and consolidation. The nominees will meet with different protest leaders, blocs across the country, states, and consolidate on a vehicle for continuous demand. They will also track actions of the government, represent our demand, and provide feedback to us regularly. They are names of nominees at the federal level. Click to vote. Names of nominees at the state level. Lagos. Click to vote. Advisory. Due to the decentralized nature of this movement across the country, we nominate a team with experience in leadership and diplomacy to assist in advisory and other support. This team will be consulted from time to time within the process. The criteria are people with integrity, people who have a vast experience in national issues, and who have a track record of being pro-young people. Nominees for advisory board. Click to vote. All nominations are provisional. If there are people you think should be on the list, people who have been critical in the success of this protest and can work towards the actualization of our demand and the ultimate mission, a better government, future for Nigeria, please nominate. In conclusion, these protests have been politically motivated. It is not about ethnicity or tribalism. The young people across the country are demanding justice, good governance, accountability, reform. These protests have no sponsor nor agenda other than what we have stated repeatedly: better governance, accountability, and an end to brutality. To everyone who has lost someone or something, we stand in solidarity with you. To all our heroes that died before and during this struggle, we say rest in power. Your death will not be in vain. It is not finished. On behalf of the coalition, thank you for listening. Viewers and listeners, this statement was from the coalition of those behind the Endsars protest. As stated earlier, it seems that these protests have no leader. It is as a result of years of oppression, years of injustice, years of brutality that galvanized the young people into action. Now they are coming up with a structure. Now they are coming up with a vision, a strategy to make sure they press forward for their demand, to make sure they were able to achieve their goal despite the intimidation or whatever they may come their way, either from government or from politicians. Now they are calling on you young people, you youth, you that is listening to this broadcast, to click on this link and nominate. Click on those links and nominate people at the federal level or at the state level. Those who can now coordinate, advise, strategize to make sure young people take over power in 2023. To make sure young people are adequately represented in government. To make sure that young people have a say in Nigeria. To make sure Nigeria is a better country because we have the resources. My viewers and listeners, as I leave you in this end of this note, I want you to comment, any of you, what is your input? What is criticized? Support? Are you in support? Are you saying no to this new statement coming from this coalition? What is your input? Let's hear your voice. Kindly comment on our comment box and subscribe to click our subscription button if you have not subscribed, and our bell button to get updated anytime we posted new videos and new news. Thank you for listening.